Morning, guys. It's Jan, not a real farm. So we are back this morning, and the weather, guys, it's going to be in the high 90s today. So I'm in here really early. Going to try and get a lot of this done, the watering. But a lot of things are growing. You can see even here, a lot of things are doing really well. I've got butternut squash doing its own thing here in the greenhouse, and it's sort of cascaded out the side and is sort of coming down onto the floor here. So a lot of things have really started to take off in the greenhouse. I even have sunflowers in the back there. And as of this morning, you can see here, we have, guys, little mini watermelons happening. So these are the Palestinian watermelons that I was growing. And we've got actually quite a few of them. So this little watermelon plant is actually doing pretty good on top here. He started growing this. Oh, and there's another one way up here, and then there's another one there. So we've got 4 of those so far that I can see. The sweet potatoes have finally decided to take off because of the heat. So you can see now they're starting to come out over the box. Got a few little weeds in here, but nothing to really complain about. The grapevine has gotten a little taller, so we're up to here now this week on the grapevine, so it's growing really great. Definitely do have to get in here and do some weeding. And today over here, what I've got to do is I've got to take out the cabbages. You can see here, these cabbages are done. These cabbages are ready to go. As a matter of fact, let's just take this out. So they're just little mini cabbages, and like I said, anywhere between 58 to, I'm going to say 65 days, but you can see the little head in there, so we're going to trim around it today and maybe make a little mini thing of sauerkraut with it. Just a little small batch, but they're beautiful. They came out really good. This was my first year. It's called the Jersey cabbage. So they came out really well, so I'll be growing those again next year. So I'm going to sit this down. And over here, let's head on over here. I could have sworn I planted purple sunflowers, but these are yellow. I'll take them. I think the other side is purple. So we've got some nice sunflowers going on here. They're mini, so they're not going to get very tall, but they've already started to put another flower head or 2 on. The corn has started to tassel. So I've been in here kind of giving it a little shake, you know, if it doesn't get breezy in here, just to make sure that everything sort of does what it's supposed to do, but it's tasseling. So that looks really good over here. And then guys, look at all of these watermelon flowers. So I've got watermelon creeping out of here down onto the floor on this side. And then the ones that I put up here in the basket, they are doing well as well. I actually moved one of the vines to keep it off the floor while I was watering last night. So we've got him up in here. And down on the floor, oh, we've got one little mini guy here. Down on the floor, he's already started to put on the watermelon. So just around here, you can see. Got watermelon here, and I have one more on this plant. But not bad. So we're definitely going to have our fair share of watermelon, and the watermelon rind relish actually turned out super good, and I ended up by making a ridiculous amount of bottles. It turned out really well. So these guys are doing good, and when we swing over to the tomatoes, the tomatoes are doing good. So I've got a bunch of green tomatoes in here now. It's not going to be very long before we're harvesting these. Tomatoes are just everywhere. Cherry tomatoes are doing good. Not too many cherry tomatoes yet. They are starting. You see here, they're starting. I believe this is an indigo tomato. They don't get very big, but they're almost black in color, and they're supposed to be super tasty, so I can't wait to try them. Got more tomatoes here. And then this year with the cantaloupe, I've got a bunch of flowers. I don't know what's going to happen with this. We'll see what happens. If this doesn't do what it's supposed to do, for whatever reason, sometimes it's environmental factors, I'm going to take this trellis and I'm going to put it over by the watermelon and let the watermelon grow up over it. So we'll see what happens. Oh, I see some, look at this. There's some cherry tomatoes in there that are changing. It's amazing what happens when you don't come in here for a day. It was so stormy yesterday and so hot. The plants didn't really need any watering because it was just so cloudy. So I gave it a break and, you know, did the inside stuff indoors, laundry, you know how it is, dishes. There's the peppers as of this morning. Peppers are doing amazing. Like, they are really taking off. They're actually growing better this year. And so are the mosquitoes that I'm flipping off here. They're actually doing better than what they grew last year. So the Macedonian Hot Peppers actually take on this, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a ribbed look before they turn red. And they're gonna be super hot. Bell peppers are doing good. They're starting to put on a little bit of weight. Oh, cayennes are coming in. I'm thinking I'm going to make my own hot sauce this year. What do you think? There's some cayennes. More lunchbox peppers. Now, I have been coming in here and taking, you can see in the dirt, my eggshells and putting them into, just dumping them, putting them in the dirt. And that seems to be working wonders. They seem to really like it. You can tell by the height that they're pretty happy. And then over in here, of course, we've got my Hungarian peppers. So we need to clip these off and I'll probably pickle them and do something like that with them. The roses are doing fantastic this morning, guys. And there's more over here. The okra, it flowered. So the okra is now starting to develop. Oh, here's one actually, right next to it. The okra is developing in the greenhouse, so this is good. It's going good. Time to pull the broccoli out as well. This is done. If I don't pull it out now, what it's going to do is it's going to flower. So we're going to take that out. And down in here, we have, where is it? If I can find it. I don't know if anybody's tried growing these, if I can find where. Oh, here they are. They're so small. These little cucamelons. You see that little melon down there? Along with the spider? They're basically just tiny little melons that they taste like a cucumber. You just pop them off the vine and eat them. And my pumpkin is doing amazing. It loves it in the greenhouse. And then along here, we now have the Mexican huckleberries. And I'm gonna go around the other side so you can see what this is now doing. Just have to get around there. The Mexican huckleberries now have turned, let me just get around here and show you, black. And once they turn black, this is when you harvest them to make your jam. You can't eat them when they're sort of this color. It's not going to be very good for you. They can be poisonous when they're this color. You want them to be super black to the point where they just come right off of the vine, like that. And guys, I can't describe the taste of this. I would say it's kind of like a cross between a really sweet cherry tomato and a grape. That's the only way I can describe it. The sweetness actually lasts when you bite into it. It lasts on your tongue. It's actually really cool. So I'm just going to be collecting these and making some jam out of them, but it's coming to the end of its cycle. Once it actually matures all the berries on the plant, then it's done. But it takes about 5 months. And then you've got basically a full set of berries that you can harvest. So that's not too bad, considering that other berry bushes you have to wait sometimes even a couple of seasons for them to develop some really good berries. So yeah, these ones are good. I really enjoy them. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but they're actually super good. Down in here once again, check the peanuts. The peanuts are actually starting to come out now just over the rim here, so they're doing really good. So now I just need to wait for them to flower. So we'll be picking these probably around, I'm gonna say October, to pull them completely out of the ground, and hopefully by then they'll be a little bit taller, but they're right next to my cherry tomatoes. So these guys are turning red. Oops, sorry guys. These guys are turning red, so I'm really excited. I've never had these ones before. They're called red Ruby Cherries, so we'll see what they taste like. The speckled Roma tomatoes are really starting to come along. I actually think they're a beautiful tomato. It'll be interesting to see what they look like when they're mature, but they're definitely putting on some weight. So a new tomato for me, I've never grown, so we'll see what happens. But so far, so good. Happy, there's nothing happening in terms of any diseases that I can see, so cross fingers. Oh my goodness, this one's falling over. There's so many tomatoes on here. So I had this one actually tied up, but it decided in the middle of the night, I guess it was gonna fall over, but it gives us a good opportunity to see what kind of tomatoes are growing on here. So this is called an Indigo Rose. And let me just see if I can move the bushes out of the way. So like I was saying with the other one, what's going to happen is it'll almost turn almost a blue black. And they're supposed to be pretty tasty. So, but they don't get very big. Like I'm going to say probably this is about as big as they're going to get. Probably the size just of a little bit bigger than a golf ball, but they're supposed to be pretty tasty. So I can't wait to actually try them and see what they're like. But I got to tie this up later. I didn't even see that. Must have just happened in the middle of the night. We'll run out here to the garden really, really quick so you can see what the rain has done to it before I get eaten alive by mosquitoes. So you can see where the dill has actually come up over the fence. And here is basically what my garden looks like in the day, in the morning. Lettuce, beans, peppers. There's my romaine. And I filled, like whatever bags I had left, I filled with potatoes. So we've got lots of potatoes this year planted. Peas. And there's my little mini corn and my lettuce and my onions and carrots in this one. We're still eating lettuce. This is going to be cleared out this week, though, because it'll just be too hot. Oh, and there's a sunflower that actually came up. I didn't realize this opened. Right on. Oh, my barley is starting to turn black, so here's what black barley looks like. You just want to grow it in your garden for fun. It's actually starting to change color. Right on. Check that out. So the bean plants are next to the barley. I'm trying to keep my shadow out of the video, but it's kind of hard because of the morning sun. Here's my calendula patch, guys. And the blackberries are just loving it out here. That's the other thing. We're going to make a big blackberry patch inside the greenhouse. What happened was my primocanes that came up in the greenhouse seemed like they died over the winter. But then what happened is now I have a whole bunch of shoots that have come out from underneath the ground. So we're going to be turning that bin that the blackberries are in the front into just a blackberry bin. So the calendula is loving this rain and the heat. And these are my hascap bushes behind here. So hascaps need a pollinator, so you have to, if you are planting hascaps, you need to make sure you have the right pollinator with, a particular bush. that stuff is really easy to get online. You can take a look for yourself if you're going to try growing them. The corn is tasseling. And then we have our peas, our carrots, our onions, our leeks. And guys, I just threw a squash out here. This squash literally had one leaf left and I thought it was dead. And now that I've brought it out here with all the rain, it's come back to life. My Eastern European tomatoes, these guys have actually started to put on tomatoes. You can see here. So we'll see what happens with them. And then the bees are all, of course, up in the broccoli that I have out here. And then we have more peppers, hot peppers, bell peppers. This is our flax. So as you can see, the pods now, they've lost their flowers. So now you just basically wait for the pod to dry out and scoop out the flax. So yeah. And just in case you're curious about what I got tomatoes on the brain, my potato bed looks like, I'm gonna scoot you over there right now and let you take a look. So here is the front potato bed. We just put a little screen up over it because this bed I'm actually going to be moving. But you can see just how much potatoes are growing in here. I do have a few garlic that have decided to come up. But we have tons. These are Yukon Golds in here. Not even a sight of blight. No spot, no yellow leaves, nothing. So they're going really well. I'm going to say we're going to have a good potato crop this year. Probably can them, put them away. So guys, that is pretty much the full outside garden except for the back 40 beds. And I didn't want to make this video too long, so I just wanted to kind of show you what's been going on and the fact that we have tomatoes and watermelon and all kinds of different things in the garden here. I'm just going to turn around and go back in the greenhouse. So we've got a lot of watering to do. Like I said, it's going to be in the hundreds today in here, so got to try and get that done and get on with it for the day, and then run from the heat in the middle of the day and probably go in and process some jams or things like that. Everything's growing great in here, guys. So far, so good. There have been a few things I've had to remove because it just doesn't do well in the heat. Fava beans actually was one of them. I think I said that in my last video. Ooh, gosh, it's hot in here. There is one more thing I want to address before we end the video for today. Guys, I've been getting some comments over the last couple of days that the videos when I'm doing the cooking or the gardening are long. So I just want to let you know that a lot of times when we run through these videos and we try to make them for you, it's not simply just, you know, taking the camera around and shooting the video and then uploading it. A lot of times what we do is we make sure, like for right now, for me, if I was to do a video over on this side of the greenhouse, it really wouldn't show up really good. And sometimes what we do is we do retakes to make sure that you can actually see what we're doing. Or sometimes what happens, like me, I drop the camera, I spill things. You know, I've had my phone, even though it's on the stand, fall in the sink, you know, when I'm making a recipe, stuff like that. And so it does take a lot of time when you're a content creator to be able to go in and do these things. And so we take a lot of time. A lot of my colleagues and I take a lot of time to make sure that the information we're giving you is accurate and the information that we're giving you is something that you can use. And a lot of the times what we do is we condense a lot of that information into one, you know, tiny video, whether it's 20 minutes, because sometimes it might be 2 days, or whether it's something that, you know, I've created where it's, I don't know, 3 minutes and 50 seconds condensed from 2 days. So when we do the jam videos, the pickling videos, the gardening videos, or the tours, it's our time too. And we want to make sure that the information we're giving you and the content we're providing you is something that you're going to enjoy. And I'm sure you probably don't want to see my iPhone fall in the sink. So I did have a comment or a couple of comments that a video for making a recipe or showing how to pickle things that was 3 minutes and 50 seconds was too long. So one of the things that if you are somebody that does a lot of canning, you'll realize that there's a lot of prep work to it before even if you're not creating or a video or anything like that, there's a lot of prep work, there's a lot of washing, there's a lot of salting, there's a lot of sitting and waiting for things to ferment, or, you know, just basically trying to put everything all together. So when these videos are presented to you, they're presented in such a light where we're trying to take 2, sometimes 3. I think one of the videos or one of the steps that we had with pickling was even 4 days. And you know, we're trying to condense that all into one little short video for you so you understand the concept so that you're able to go and recreate it for yourself. And so if it's too long, 3 minutes and 50 seconds, I'm really going through that really, really fast. And there's probably maybe even a couple of steps that I myself personally might even leave out because I'm not thinking that this might be a step that you might need. So if it's too long, I really apologize for that, but it is necessary to at least make the videos to a length where you understand the beginning, the middle, and the end product. And so if it's not something you want to watch, then please don't watch it. Move on to the next video. Please don't leave comments that the videos are just too long because you feel that there should have been steps skipped. If it's something that you don't feel you want to watch, don't watch it. But I'm going to keep creating them, and there are going to be times where my videos are going to be 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes, depending on what I want to show you. So there's no no shortcuts to doing this. This is something that we're all trying to teach. We're all trying to join together and help one another so that we can be more self-sufficient. And unfortunately, 3 minutes and 50 seconds is probably a little too short. I probably should be making longer videos to show you step by step by step. And the thing about it is we're trying to share this knowledge with you so that you're able to, you know, create or duplicate or have a great end result in whatever you're creating. And that takes time and it takes patience. And unfortunately, we just can't run through these, you know, step A, B, and C sometimes within 2 minutes. It's just impossible. So please be patient. Watch the videos. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email, make a comment below. But guys, the length of the videos is going to be the length of the videos. And if it's not for you, then please watch another video. Thanks very much for watching today, guys. If you have any questions, pop them below. You know my email. It's going to be notarealfarm@yahoo.com. Send a comment there if you'd like to talk to me. Otherwise, have a really great day. See you soon.